Prepare yourself.
Singer and poet Cody Simpson wrote a book, and I bought it and read it so you don't have to.
Lives in a pineapple under the sea. The yellow and I've been born in the day. I ain't go like that, I don't know the words. All I know is I look like Squidward.
What's up, you big babies? It's me, 16leo. And guess what? Boom. Can you see that? That's Cody Simpson. I don't know if you remember him. He was actually a pretty popular singer back in the day. In 2010, I think he had his first record with Flow Rider called Ay 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 Ay. Back when Justin Bieber was still a baby and people were cashing in on him, they looked to Australia and they found this child called Cody Simpson and they were like, bro, you could sing. And he's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And they were like, perfect. The song's already, it's writing itself. And that became that. Cody had some success. He had some good songs. I guess as he grew up, he deviated from the limelight. Now, some would say he fell off. I would say that he wanted to go. Just before we start this, even though the poetry book itself is not good, Cody Simpson and Miley Cyrus are good. They're great, in fact. So all props to him. I hope he's doing well. But this book, why you do this, Cody? So as I said, today I'm gonna review Prince Neptune, Poetry and Prose by Cody R. Simpson. The R stands for Rethink. All you have to do is search up his name and scroll down the list. You'll find plenty of songs where he alludes to the fact he might be attracted to the ocean. The band that he's now joined is called The Tide, and one of their most popular singles is called Underwater. The book is Aqua. The back of the book is him looking like Nick Nolte standing in the ocean like, what? Prince Neptune, I believe the Roman god for the water, akin to Poseidon in Greek mythology. That's the name he chose. That's his poetry name. I don't know where this has come from because I don't think he started off with such a love of water. But something happened. Can you imagine if Cody Simpson just discovered water and that was like his love? He was like, huh. He didn't know about that shit till like just now. Yo, what's up, Cody? How you doing? What's up? What is that? It's a glass. Oh, not the glass. Inside it. You mean water? Guys, I'm changing my name. To what? To Neptune. King Neptune. That's taken, dumbass. Prince Neptune. So I actually read every page of this book from back to front. There is no real context for this book. I don't know why it was necessary. I didn't actually know it came out. It's funny. I don't know if he wanted that. But before we get started, do subscribe if you're new here. Be sure to follow me at 16leo_. And while you're there on Instagram, why don't you look up this Prince Neptune? It's at Prince Neptune Poet. And it never used to be like that because I scrolled all the way down and one of the comments says, that's deep at Cody Simpson Poetry. This has been going since December 2016. This man has took almost 4 years to write this poetry book. This has to be his magnum opus, right? Before I bought the book, I did want to read some of the comments to make sure that it was the right book for me. Okay, so I got this book off NetGalley. My God, I'm so glad I didn't pay anything for it. The book screams to me that the author is trying too hard, poor use of English, and extremely cringy. I saved a few examples to illustrate how bad it was. Page 33, a poem about him getting hard on the beach from staring at some stranger. Whew. Gotta read that one. Page 79, Milky Crotch. The photo is creepy and basically sums up the creepy experience I had reading it. It was difficult for me to understand the language would have made the poems to be poetic, which resulted in the poems coming out rather his collection tried. I felt that he was trying too hard. Wow. What great reviews. Love it. Thank God I spent $22 on a book that they should have paid me $38 to read. But hey, what are you doing, Leo? I'm reading Prince Neptune. And guess what? I realized his logo isn't a trident. It's a Maserati sign without the lines horizontally. Oh, just by the way, see references? Theater film references. I'm just gonna tick them off every now and again. You'll see this thing full up. So I marked some of the best pages and I would like to read some poetry for you guys here today. Can I get some ocean sounds? Can I get some smooth?
Saxophone.
Thank you. In this hour, before dawn, kitchen lights in houses. Okay, I already have a problem. This man does not know how to use grammar. Not grandma, grandma. Not... You know what I mean. There are no commas, and just like a prepubescent girl, there are no periods either. I don't know if anyone edited this book. In this hour before dawn, kitchen lights in houses speckled around the harbor are starting to twinkle like stars. Boats sway softly anchored, undulating in the currents beneath the death-black silk coat of the sea, while the soft bed of morning slowly rises like dough in the heat of the new Australian sun. The jeweled dawn passes in ephemeral fashion, and big famous God in the sky only paints with his big famous colors for a moment before his boredom sets in and he washes the canvas blue. The first page in and I'm already sensing hostility towards God over here. Neptune's like, big famous God with his colors painting the sky again. Well, guess what, big famous God? I had a song with Flowrider when I was 10. He wasn't even in the video. He was on the Wanted newspaper. I think he was on a missing newspaper. I don't know where he went. So already we can see Cody is definitely leaving his roots as a pop star and he's turning into someone deeper. Is language but a means of avoiding silence and one's own solitude? Or are we obligated as humans to use words in an attempt to articulate silence? Page 2 of this book, and this man is already questioning 6,000 years of civilization. Pop singer who wrote, wrote 116 pages, and then you also said poetry's between the words. Do you know what would have been really poetic? If you didn't write the book at all? A thought is a ripple on the vast ocean of consciousness. Once again, this man is just enamored with the sea. For authenticity, do you know what I feel like Cody did? I feel like this dude didn't write the book with normal ink. He went to the sea, he found a squid and scared the shit out of it, and then he bottled up that ink and he was like, this is how you write. Prince Neptune only writes with the finest fish ink. I also have another theory. Prince Neptune hates the sun, because on page 11, he clearly says, some mornings, it's like the sun rises only for her. This is one line. I don't know how he meant to write this, but it sounds really jealous. Some mornings the sun only rises for her. And here I am playing the guitar, singing to water. People are like, get off my property. There's also some poems that are just sketchy AF, like this one. There is a big machine in the sky, a kind of electric lion with wings coming straight at us. You know those crazy people you meet under Mooney's Bridge? You just get those people and then you're like, hey, can you point me to West and 5th? And they're like, that reminds me of a story I used to tell about a Sherpa who had 3 eyes and 1 testicle. It's like, oh, okay, all right. You know what? I think he just pulled that one out of his ass. Prince Neptune also says she could breathe peace into hostile earths. Well, shit, why don't you send her to the Gaza Strip? See if her breathing works. Can you imagine, like, her coming special order down the plane and stuff and, like, landing and she's like... Is everything better now? When it comes to the actual writing of this, but sometimes I think he may overdo it with the way he's using the visual language. I would say you still want to make it clear enough that people know what you're talking about. This next one I read, and I didn't get it until he specified. Mumbling down the streets of New York, I hear jazz echoing up from manholes in the ground. Manhole, pothole, sewer, where you do the shitty? Where you drop juices. What kind of sewers do they have in New York that if you open a jazz comes out? Then he says, subway musicians. That's not a manhole, Cody. That's a subway. You can't just give it a different name. I don't call my toilet an ass sanctuary. That would be weird. But anyway, he continues and he says, subway musicians hoofing their daily brass ecstasies, and all is cool and calm and fine like always. What a great poet, man. You know those potholes? You know those? The sewer? Yeah, no. I'm talking about the people who squash into the subway. Yeah. It's okay, it's good. Oh my god, I should write that down. Cody Simpson, the type of guy to get frozen fish fingers and throw them in the sea and be like, you're home now. Life, for most, is functional, but uncreative. Creativity in your everyday man is atrophied due to the banality of his existence and his concern for money, sex, and drink. Gluttony is America. America is money. Money is sex. Sex is drink. Drink is hedonism. Hedonism is America. Hi, I'm Cody Simpson. I went from Australia to America to make pop music, and I'm dating Miley Cyrus, and I made a lot of money from the music. I also drink. Sunken islands, immersed in water. All right. That is what a sunken island is. You don't have to say it twice. It's like me going on the news and hearing, there's a dead man who isn't alive today. All right, okay. I get it. Just by the way, I'm skipping through the book. I was actually thinking of reading this whole book to you guys from back to front. And if you want to see that, tell me in the comments. Because I'll waste your time. You know I'll do that. I did the Shrek video. I'll do it again. This might be one of my personal favorites. One night on the beach. Vibratory waves pulsing. Another wave. Damn it, Cody. Lysergic behind my eyes. I saw a woman in the shallows, wading. Denim cutoff jeans, no shirt, blue beads around her neck. Next moment, pointed right at me, grinned wide, motioned me over. I got her hard on. Say you want to talk about making love to someone. You dance around the topic and use your visual language. Cody just was like, man, I was just like looking. I seen the ocean, the waves came. I was like, damn, shorty. My dick got hard. I was like, yeah. He really said that. He said, I got a hard on and swam. Cody Simpson, the type of guy to watch SpongeBob for its historical accuracy. I can transcend death. All right, Cody, if you could do that, why the fuck did you wait to tell us? This seems like a thing that you should have told people years ago. You put that on page 43. You didn't even put it as the first thing. I can transcend death in strange astral sleep, invigorating the senses. Visions come in doves to me in my blue garden. Blue garden is another way of saying the sea. At this point, he ran out of things to say. My water hole, my liquid fantasy, my dream team wetness, my submarine road. I think just saying things at face value has more impact than one might think. Page 45, he says, we rise, tongues wagging, ecstatic. Mr. Neptune, tongues don't wag. Do you understand what wagging is? It's moving side to side. Have you ever seen someone be so happy that, he also, later on in his poem says, face paint, drum rhythms, semen sprawled upon trees. And he spells semen S-E-M-E-N, so it's not a seaman, it's semen. What he's saying is he jacked off on some trees. I feel like he loves the environment so much that he wants to fuck it. By the middle of the book, it starts to run out of steam. The book is almost 120 pages. He starts to become a radicalist from page 50. Up until this point, no poem of his had a title. This one's called Freedom. After page 50, he's like, shit. I'm supposed to put titles? Freedom. I've been thinking of freedom. Good. I've been thinking our holy rulers. Great. Can go fuck themselves. All right. But behind their unholy desks with their unholy wars can go fuck themselves with their big nuclear missiles. I've been thinking of my heroes and their FBI files. This is why I write. This is the reason? I thought it was about the ocean and shit. I don't see your point right now. I write to name the unnameable thing. Oh, it keeps going. Of course it does. Attempting to communicate the original spark of life, but the motherfuckers would probably rather turn on the news while I'm here thinking of freedom. I thought this was a calm book about the ocean. I've been thinking of freedom. Son, there are millions of fish in the sea. Find yourself a mermaid. Wow. I thought this was a poetry book. Turns out it's a joke book as well. And I'll take you to page 99. We must create new calendars. New measurements of time and space. Let us invent new words and phrases. Let us craft universal language that all can decipher. Let us reinvigorate and refresh all modes of communication, conjuring a style so modern and so radiant that men and women will travel from distant lands to hear it. Let's make up some new words like akablak. This guy, not only does this guy want to create a new language, he said new measurements of time and space. Bruh, big ask, isn't it? Also, you can't create a universal language and then have men and women traveling from distant lands to hear it because it would be universal, Cody. They would know it. They wouldn't need to want to hear it. The lone wolf performs solitary salutations at transcendence and in search of new visions. If he can collect that which he seeks, he is obligated to descend and present his findings to the rest of the tribe. He is the dazed, recalcitrant, rebel prince dancing in the hills above town, while everyone watches from the ground in astonishment. Look at him. Do you know what I think he did? Do you remember the episode of Friends when Monica and Chandler needed someone to vouch that they're decent parents, and they got Joey? They were like, we need someone to write a smart letter. And Joey's like, I got you. And he put every word through the thesaurus, and it came out so stupid that his last name was signed Baby Kangaroo Tribbiani because his name's Joey. This is what that is. It seems like Cody Simpson wrote something, then copied all the words, put them in a thesaurus, and then he was like, yes. Cool, more like ventilated. If you can communicate your point, you don't even have to be eloquent about it. All you have to do is make someone feel. This is his last poem, and might I say he goes out with a bang. It's called Cool Sensation, or should I say Liquidation Scintillation. I have felt the cool sensations. Salt on skin. Not a cool sensation. Skin crisp from sun rays. Again, off to the next wild destination, in search of the next golden adventure. I've sat by bonfires at dusk, under blood-red skies, mosquitoes, guitars, congas, women in white sarongs, discussing eternity with those who knew eternity, and I have felt my sunburned back on airplane seats, my feet ripped with reef scars, my voice hoarse from ecstatic chanting with my friends, my people who know eternity. It's hard to speak with those chasing the next illusory reward, the next great dollar. The big cities, in ties, in limousines, in banks, in office chairs. He goes on. Those who disregard vibration. But I know one day, everyone will know eternity. He will know eternity. She will know eternity. They will know eternity. And I will know eternity. I can see the blue prisms suspended in midair chandelier summer. I can see the central sun dancing in the vast sky. And I will know eternity. Contemporary currents surpass me, and I am trapped within my own realm. But my realm exists in eternity. I must look. According to the broader laws, the ground must crumble beneath crowds. Temples for the ages must fall to ashes. In the face of eternity, the eternity I will know. Oh man, such a young death. He goes on. For a boy king, but he will know eternity. I am tired of undisciplined consciousness. I wish to catch the essence of everything, far removed from it all. And I will know eternity. Oh man, such a young death for a boy king. But he will know eternity. The boulevardiers will never see poetry in motion or the gleaming rewards that lie just beyond the pit of discomfort. But that'll be my secret. Okay. Signing out. Farewell, Australia. Keep our world warm for us. I'm barefoot in the airport now. Off to no eternity. That's it. Where'd your $20 go, Leo? Oh, I bought Prince Neptune book. Alright, well, you were stupid. Cody Simpson seemed like the type of guy to dedicate his whole life to teaching crabs how to walk forward and backward. I think, if anything, this book proves that Cody Simpson is definitely a singer. The reason why I wanted to even look at this book is because you know the deal. As much as I like Cody Simpson, if he wasn't Cody Simpson the singer beforehand, if he was just Cody Simpson the retail worker and he published a book like this, it not only wouldn't it sell, his friends would buy it, then smack him with it and be like, why'd you waste your money? Can musicians be poets? Because a lot of musicians write music. They're not necessarily poetic. For comparison, let me read you 2 poems, and you tell me what the difference is. We faked love for about an hour, and in the cool, cool night I left silent and hazy and full of wine. That's a poem by Cody Simpson. Here's another one. Did you hear about the rose that grew from a crack in the concrete? Proving nature's law is wrong. It learned to walk without having feet. Funny it seems, but by keeping its dreams, it learned to breathe fresh air. Long lived the rose that grew from concrete, when no one else ever cared. Not only did that rhyme, that was by one of the best rhymers in the world, Tupac. For my money, even though he's a really great rapper, he's probably even better as a poet. There was nothing pretentious about that. It spoke to his situation. The rose who grew from concrete was a metaphor of Tupac growing from a place where nobody actually nurtured as you would nurture a plant. No one fed or watered him or saw him grow. He had to do it himself. And contrary to the odds, the concrete jungle that is New York, it grew past that. Cody Simpson, in his poem, said that he had fake sex and he was pretty drunk. So in Leo's book club, I'm gonna have to give this a solid 1 wave out of 5. I think for a lot of people wanting to feel smart or wanting that validation of I am a really smart person is quite appealing to them. I don't know why. I'm dumb and I enjoy it. So that was Prince Neptune, Poetry and Prose by Cody R. Simpson. Thank you so much for joining Leo's book club. Tell me if you want me to do more. I think Gabby Hanna came out with a book not too long ago, and it is. Once again, subscribe if you're new here, and I shall see you very soon with the next one. Take care. Fluffs, what was your favorite part of the poem?
I'm a dog up in the streets. Your girl, I'm a beat. In the pussy. Yeah.